your hand if you've ever been to South America before. Yeah, me neither. The reason why I'm making this video is because I went to a very interesting event quite recently called the Ibo-American Festival Night, which celebrates the spirit of Carnival, which is this amazing, fun experience where all these South American countries come together. It was here in DC, of course, and this would be also an Embassy Life in DC video, which ironically I said I wouldn't do, but here I am as well. But it does relate to life and the differences that different cultures have, which are very fascinating to me. And so it's very interesting because the entire South America region always gets a bad rap with this stuff that you see in the news, and there are always going to be bad and good things to any place on the planet. Hey, the US isn't perfect either. We have our own fair share of problems, a lot of problems and stuff like that. But what's amazing to me is that I work with a lot of embassies and cultural centers here in DC that are in the South America area. And what this area of the world is well known for is its hospitality and its friendliness with the people. And I'm always constantly amazed at how friendly people from that whole region of the world are. And at this one festival night that I was celebrating and recording and just enjoying life at the moment, I was very taken aback at how friendly and open these people were, even to complete strangers. It reminds me of a guy that I used to know in graduate school, and he's still around, don't worry, but he was Brazilian, and the dude was like a brother to me because he was super friendly. And I remember the first time that I met him, it was one of our class outings or whatever. We were doing a bonding field trip, camping, I think close by to the university in California. And this person had never met me before in my entire life, and I had arrived there late because, I can't remember, it was just because of the fact that we were doing something before, we got to the campground late, the sun was setting down, and I needed help setting up my tent because I just had no idea how to do it. Don't make fun of me, but it was my first time camping, okay? And for the record, I still would need help setting up a tent because this one was large. It was a multi-person tent. And the guy from Brazil literally had just met me for the first couple of seconds and had started treating me like a damn brother, almost, you know what I mean? And maybe that was because of his personality, and maybe it's generalizing to a certain extent, but this is very common with other folks that I've met in DC that are from the South America, region of the world. It doesn't matter, Brazil and, just all these countries that are located on that mainland. And it's a friendliness to even strangers that you don't see that here in the West, at least, very, it's hard to explain, and I feel I'm gonna get in trouble for saying this on a video and stuff. But from my personal experience, I can definitely tell you that sometimes I'm not the friendliest in the world and stuff like that. And depending on where you live in the U.S., people are definitely not exactly friendly. For example, for those of you that don't live in the U.S. or just haven't lived on the East Coast, for example, the East Coast vibe is that sometimes people are not the friendliest compared to their West Coast counterparts. And I'm biased slightly because I lived in California for 7 years. But there's this stereotype that East Coast people are very closed, very cold, they don't say hi in the street, all that type of stuff. And that's not true, because here in DC, people are friendly as hell. Heck, friendly as heck. People are friendly as heck. We'll have to edit that in post-production. Who am I kidding? There's no post-production here. I just don't have time for that. And then at the same time, for example, New Yorkers are well known for, not being the most friendly, but I think it's a tough love. You know what I mean? It's for example, it reminds me of the whole sibling dynamic. For those of you that either grew up with siblings or didn't grow up with it, it's no one can beat up my brother except for myself. You know what I mean? It's that type of tough love. But it's interesting because the guy that I just referenced beforehand was from Brazil, and then his wife was from maybe the same area as well, and they had never met me before. And they were both super friendly, and they continue to be one of the greatest friendships to this day. And here in DC, like, I'm a complete stranger, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not from the South America area. I don't have any like shared heritage or culture with that. And yet, with all the, those types of events that I've gone to, especially like at the one on Friday, and yet they know me to a certain extent because I'm well known to like show up to embassy events or whatever. But it was all like super friendly, super cordial, very open, and it's just like it was just it's amazing to me that like the entire like South America region is known for their sense of hospitality and just like how friendly and open they are. Now, this might be naive because I've never been there before to Belize. I've been to Belize a couple times and stuff like that. So I've been to some places, but I've never actually done like a backpacking trip. And you know what I mean? But from what people have told me, the entire area or the entire region is that way. People are friendly. People like want to get to know you. You know what I mean? Like it's a different way of approaching people and talking to people at the same time, and I find that so fascinating because people live different lives. People interact with people differently. I know that sometimes I can be very cold and reserved. Other times I'm bubbly and friendly. It just depends on the day and the mood. But at the same time, it's like an entire region is like known for that. You know, their sense of hospitality and just being friendly with complete strangers. It's completely amazing to me. So, I've had friends that have done like trips throughout all of South America, and no matter where they go in which country, it's like these people can be like dirt poor, right? And that's not an insult. That's like a fact. Like the poverty rates in a lot of these like countries are like very large, but like these people can be like super poor, right? But they will give you the shirt off of their back if you need help. You know what I mean? Like that's the type of people that are there. Of course, there's always bad people, there's always good people, and no matter where you are in the world. But that's what people say, and that's what I've heard. And here in DC, and also in the Belize like area where I visited a couple of times, it was that way. So, maybe it's not so generalizing after all. But what this video is supposed to do is supposed to give people that are watching this video like a wanderlust to try to visit these places and experience different cultures and just different ways of living, because like that's part of one of the great things about doing what I do, the Embassy Life in DC project, is that I get to interact with people that are from different cultures. And even if you don't speak the same language, like for example, I don't speak a word of Spanish, and I really need to. Like I gotta pick up I gotta pick up a new language and stuff like that. But even when you're sitting in the middle of a conversation and you don't even understand what they're saying, they will stop and they'll try to explain to a certain limited extent, given the linguistic skills, and it's amazing, because like they're just super friendly, and that's all I'm trying to say. And I'll end the video with this. I challenge you to explore more of the world and learn more about different people, cultures, and how they live, because the world is a very big place, and there's so much hate in this world nowadays with everything that's going on. What if we, learned about each other and learned to live with each other and appreciate our differences instead of them splitting us apart? So keep that in mind. Like and subscribe for more travel content coming in our way, and other videos as well on a variety of topics.